Hello, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your Maker2199 bringing you guys another commentary. Now, this one, I forget what it's called. It's Gardens and Graveyards or something like that, where you have to capture a few gardens, and if you capture all the gardens, it's an objective game. You win the game, and if you don't, the opposing team wins. So here I'm trying to capture the garden, and the opposing team is trying to defend it or not allow us to capture it. And you guys are gonna see some good teamwork being done by one of my teammates here. I don't know. I don't know this person. I didn't have a mic or anything like that on, so why they decided to do this with me, no clue. But this is a really cool thing because if these guys keep shooting me, my health is going down, yes, but then this sunflower is regenerating me, and basically the only thing I have to give back to the sunflower is basically keep it alive. Because I think this was I don't know if it was a little girl or not. I think it was a female. Because of the gamer tag that they were using, it just makes me think that it was a female. But it's hard for them to kill us or kill me, and that's because I'm being healed, and then I also have a shield on. So that is a big plus. And right here you're watching me fail with my aim, and I don't know, it was really cool, and it didn't last as long as I would have liked. I should have just rushed in a little bit harder and taken them out. So she's basically getting covered from my shield and getting covered, and I think this is the guy that killed us. And what happened is that she got killed first, so she couldn't regenerate me, and then I got killed. And that's always what I do. When I see people doing that, I always go for the sunflower. Once the sunflower is dead, it cannot heal itself or heal anybody else, and the other character is easier to take out, obviously. So that's tip number one for this video. I always give out a bunch of tips on my videos, and it's very common when I just start playing games for the first time and I'm really excited. I give tips to those that are watching, and usually I continue to sprinkle on tips. That's what I call it. As the commentary continues for those that keep on watching, and sometimes the tips get better as the videos go along, sometimes they don't. That's a matter of opinion, so you guys can either continue to watch it or not. And this one, I'm not sure if I want to talk throughout the entire thing. Maybe I will, because it's the first one and there's a few things that I want to point out. So I'm gonna be giving you guys strats on this one, and there's a few other things before we get into strats, because this is a really long video that I want to talk about first. And I'm going to be giving you guys some of the strats, and this is a game mode that I play a ton and I'm a veteran of, and I know how to play quite well. So I'm just going to be giving you guys some of my strats and all of that to get us started. And if you guys like, always leave a sub, leave a like, help my channel out. And if you know maybe some younger folks and stuff like that that might enjoy the commentary or might benefit from it, share it with them. It always helps me out, and I will be really thankful that you guys did. And we'll continue to bring awesome content, and content that hopefully helps some of you guys out, and that sort of stuff to the channel to share with all of you guys. So one of the things that I want to talk about is that I'm using the Citrus character, and this is the ice variant, so he shoots ice. And the cool thing about it, the neat thing about this character, is that he freezes people in place. And right there, I'm usually very unlucky using that little that little rush thing that I did, but right there I was able to get that guy. He must have been really low health though, because I've hit a few people that were full health and it didn't do that much damage overall. So just keep that in mind. If you're gonna do that little spin, they have to be pretty low health to make damage effectively. And there's gonna be some lag on this video, and I don't know if it's on my end, I don't know if it's Gears of War, if it's just my system that has been having a ton of issues, and I fixed it twice already, and if it continues to have issues, if it's a network thing, I have no clue. But the thing is though, that we're gonna continue to play this awesome game and get some great footage for you guys. And this is my favorite mode, so I have absolutely no problem in uploading more of this. If you guys are liking this, leave a comment and tell me you want to watch more, and I'll continue to play more of these longer games and all of that because I like them. So So the citrus variant, I only have it because of the thing that they do, that they let you, if you don't have that many characters, you're new to it, you're gonna be at a disadvantage on this point, which is like a year-old game, and you're not gonna be able to hang with some of the other characters and stuff like that. So some of these characters are a little bit better than others, and it's awesome that you can try a character and purchase him for 150,000 coins. If you have that much money to spend and you like the character, it could be a good investment, but 150,000 coins is ridiculous in my opinion. That's a lot. And I think you can do better. Right there I hit the guy. I didn't hit him as perfectly as I would have liked to, but I still hit him, and I I didn't kill him. So that's what I was talking about. Sometimes they have to be super low health, and right here I'm just trolling them, and I'm gonna get into what I was thinking and all of that later on as I get into the strats. But 150,000 is way too much, but if you tried other characters and you really like this one, it's worth the money than trying to randomly unlock it. But I would rather purchase a random character and try to just play with them, because I don't really have any other characters besides default, maybe one or two more, and that's it. So for me, the random character packs makes a lot more sense. Maybe for some of you guys it doesn't, maybe for some of you guys this makes more sense, so you guys know how to spend your money. I'm just trying to tell you guys to spend it wisely, really make a wise decision, because it's not as easy to get 150,000 coins, and I really don't have much. As you guys have seen, I haven't spent too much money because I haven't played this game all that much. I was only planning on playing Deathmatch and Vanquish for these purposes, but this is what I like playing. This is what I play when I load up this game, or when I loaded up the first one. I rarely play Team Vanquish or anything like that. So, and I don't mind playing them. My little nieces like playing the Genome Bomb and Taco Bandits and all that from the other one. Taco Bandits I don't think made a return, but Genome Bomb and some of those others did. So I do not mind playing those at all. And right here I'm just going to be killing them from a distance. I know that the next hill is pretty close, and I'm trying to weaken a few of these people, try to get them out, because they spawned here, they had the advantage, they were already ready and waiting for us. So if we can kill them and not just rush like crazy, we'll be able to be a bit strategic and take them out. So right here I'm gonna get killed, and I thought this was funny. No clue where that guy came from, but he just popped out of nowhere and punched me to death. Which is really cool. So this character I don't have unlocked, and I'm not gonna purchase him, although I did consider it, because I do have enough points to buy him. But I just think it's a little too early for me to purchase too much points in one character, when there's a lot of other characters that I would rather have and or unlock, which I wouldn't mind having because I don't have anything else. So just keep that in mind. And I really like the fact that you can use some of these characters without owning them. So that's really cool. I really like that new feature. So to continue on, and I know there's some new characters that came out I think beyond the game, and I don't have any of that, but if I do get them, I'll make a review like I've been trying to do for some of these characters and put it up here so that you guys can see. And there isn't too many Plants and Zombies video gamers right now, so if this is something you guys want to see that I'm playing right now and you guys want to continue to watch, support, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to continue to make these videos as long as I keep on playing them and be one of the few guys that is actually bringing fresh content of this game right now. So hopefully we do have an audience. So the thing that I want to talk about, strat number one, is this is an objective game, and because a lot of kids play this, and I expect a lot of younger people to come in here, not necessarily kids, but just younger people to come in and watch gameplay like this. There's quite a few adults that play it as well, and some of them play with their kids, some of them just play it because it's a fun game, and I do both. I play it with my nieces and I play it on my own because it's just fun, and I just cannot get enough of this game. So thing number one to do, and if I refer to kids, it's because of the nature of how I play it and that sort of stuff, and how I got introduced to it, which I have already explained on my intro video on Plants vs Zombies and all of that, which is on my channel now. You guys can go ahead and check it out and show some support. So I usually play this game and a lot and I've noticed a few things that a lot of new people or a lot of new folks do wrong. And one of the things is always rush straight into the circle. I never like rushing straight into the circle, and the reason that I did so on part of this commentary, you're gonna watch me rush a lot more aggressively into the circle and get killed over and over and pay the price for doing so, is because I had to go and do something else, and I didn't want to quit on a game that I was doing okay on. I wanted to get that victory and then be able to leave, so I was a little bit rushed, I guess, to stop playing and go do what I was gonna do. So I started rushing the circle a lot more. So it is an objective game, and you should always play the objective, but there might be a little bit of a gray area that I'll get into shortly. So one of the biggest areas that I see is a lot of the characters never go to the circle, and that is something that pisses me off, because I was trying to hitch a ride from here to the capture thing, but those things are moving way too slow. And the corn right there, he had the right idea. So I just decided to go walking. So the thing is, since it's an objective game, always go into the circle. Try to capture each circle. Try to play as a team player. Don't be one of these people that just avoids it and is trying to kill people from afar. But there's an exception, and I'm going to talk about that shortly. And I really would like to get people, or at least the younger folks, to be more objective based. Because when you're playing Call of Duty Domination, you're playing Gears of War, King of the Hill, and stuff like this that I post on my channel. And I play other games as well that are shooters or objective based, and you only see these people camping and not moving from one place, not really playing the objective, just trying to play like a deathmatch or whatever. That's what fucks you over. That's what makes your team lose. And it's all of those people that do that all the time. So I want to encourage people from a younger age to play the objective. You know, don't be that douche that all he did was stand behind and just shot and camped and maybe did absolutely nothing to actually benefit the team. Always play the objective. That's the best way to get the W, which is what you're after. It's not about how many people you kill, it's about winning. And this isn't one of those where your KD or anything like that matters. All that matters is you capping the hill, getting the objectives, and getting out. So killing is a part of you doing that, obviously, and that's when you should kill. But you need to know when to kill and when to engage players, and that'll be more advanced tactics that I might get onto later on. So the gray area, and that's what I want to talk about next that I was mentioning, that is, if you're doing, and I've done it before, don't get me wrong, but I always try to go for the circles. So I've done it where I'm doing what I'm doing right now, and I start killing a ton of these people, and my teammates are able to go to the circle because I'm keeping it cleared out. And once I see a certain amount of teammates in, then I'll rush into the circle as well to help them out, because it's objective based and that's what you should do. So right here, and sometimes you try to take out these campers and you try to, you know, stay from afar like them and try to kill them from a distance because they're not paying attention to you. And if you're slaying them and you are dropping like 40 and 50, 60 bombs, and you're the one that's making that difference for your team to be able to get into the circle and capture it and all of that and win, then by all means do so. But if you're not doing that, if you're not playing a part of any of that, then don't even stay behind. Just rush into the circle and try to capture some points. If your aim is potato, rush into the circle, capture some points, and help your team one way or the other. So that's gonna be the gray area, and I've done it where I was slaying so many people that it was, and every time I tried going to the circle, I got killed, and it pushed us back because they were able to, you know, regain their camping spots and all of that. Till from there, when I spawned and got back there, that it was really hard to clear them out again. So always play smart. I always say that, you know, always use your head, always play it smart, always try to find new ways and methods to play, and as long as you play smart and effectively, you'll get those victories over people that don't play smart and effective. So play the objectives, play all of that. It's funner because if you're just slaying, everybody wants to slay, and it's as fun as it is, don't get me wrong, you don't get the victories and you lose, and it's terrible for everyone. So yeah, play the objective. So number 2, and this is something that I want to get into, that I've already mentioned, always use your player's abilities strategically, and always try to roll around with a few teammates unless you can really hang on your own. And right now I can't, because the team is it's a year old, and these people have so many upgrades to the characters that the simple basic upgrades don't cut the cheese anymore. So that's the unfortunate part for me. And if I had characters that really did compete with some of these characters better, I would I would be holding my own a lot better, I'll guarantee that. So for right now I'm at a bit of a disadvantage, but that's alright. I'll get it back, and I'll get right into it shortly, because I don't think it's going to take me that long to unlock a few good characters and stuff and be able to just dominate a bit more. So always keep that in mind. Always efficiency, always shoot him. And right here I was getting some damage on him, and I know he's gonna camp me out, and I'm gonna pretend to turn around and think that I'm not paying attention to him so that he rushes me and I'm gonna kill him. So I was already ready for this, and I had my shield ready when I made the move. So it's always about outthinking your opponent and being, like I said, being smart, outthinking them, and being strategic. But the next thing that I want to talk about is surprise. I'm surprising a bunch of these people right here. They have absolutely no clue that I was anywhere near. And this is the best way that I found so far to capture the circles when you're a plant. And look at the strafe though. I'm strafing these people quite well. Not on that one. That was a poor example. Every time that I try to make an example, I always poop it on that one. But I'm gonna be strafing these people really, really cleverly, and they're not gonna be able to kill me for a while. And that was really cool, and it was really funny because it allowed my teammates to be able to take some of them out. It encouraged them to get into the hill with me and try to capture this objective here, and we just did pretty good teamwork. And I found that a lot of these players don't have the accuracy, the skills to be able to deal with you. And I'm not even running away from them or hiding from them too much, and I'm going against 2, and I'm just gonna strafe them, and they're gonna struggle a bit to kill me, which I thought was a little bit funny. But that just shows you how poorly most people accuracy is. And don't be afraid to go in. Always strafe. I don't like it when people rush in and they don't strafe, especially when they're shooting somebody. Yeah, maybe you can outshoot them, or maybe you have more health in them, but never be too cocky. Outstrafing them is the best thing. And right here I use my shield strategically. This guy is spawn killing us, and I was just able to kill him like a pro and get my team to move on from there. Because if your teammates, some of your teammates will get stuck on that. They don't have the skills that maybe you have, and they won't be able to advance. And you just have to sometimes do more for your teammates to get that victory. So never underestimate your teammates' abilities and what they're able to do. So right here I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna get into the circle strafe. There's a lot of gas that was damaging me, apart from them shooting at me, and I couldn't strafe as effectively because of the gas, and I was pretty low health to begin with, so I was just keeping that in mind. But yeah, using this the citrus and just rolling around is really cool. And always use the portals. You can get everywhere so much faster. Unless they're spawn camping you and you're trying to avoid it, then do something else. But for the most part, always use the portals and just stay strategic and all of that. So that's what I was trying to tell you guys since the beginning, to play it smart. Always be smart, you know. And I know that for some kids sometimes it doesn't make that much sense, or for some of the younger folks that are barely getting their hands and feet with the shooters and all of that, aiming can be really hard. Tip number 1 is always play with the low sensitivity, and that's the best way to control your sensitivity. Never use a really high sensitivity. You will never be able to control that. And that guy was just waiting for me to actually pop out from the little rolling thing to kill me. And I was so just dedicated to trying to kill this guy, and unfortunately I failed, but I was way too focused on trying to kill him, and somebody killed me from the back, and it's alright though. I get revived and I continue. So it's really cool. It's really cool. It's a really fun game, and I like this ending part. Because look at how hectic it got, and I used all the abilities, all those tactics to my advantage. You guys are going to see what I'm talking about when I mean to outthink your opponent, and hopefully you guys get a different perspective on how to play the game and or how to use some of the abilities and moves. So it's going to be coming up shortly. So here you have to actually interact with the map and capture a few things. You have to stay there for a while, and some of these people are just gonna camp them out on distances because they know what you have to do and they know that it's not that easy. So they're just gonna camp it out on a distance and hope that they can kill you and take you out like that. So keep that in mind and try to be strategic when doing such a thing. You know, don't just rush like I was trying to do right here. I was trying to take these guys out from the side and not allow them to get any really points or anything like that on us, and hopefully give a window for some of my teammates. That's part of me not playing the objective. I was trying to preoccupy these people, make a window for my teammates and allow them to get what they had to capture. So that's it's just part of the game, and sometimes you switch it on the same game, sometimes you don't. It just depends on the situation. Analyze the situation and make adjustments according to your situation. So right here, some of the other objectives, I never played this map, so I had no clue where I was to go, and I found out pretty quickly that not only do you have to capture some of these, you also have to capture some other stuff that is underneath this level. You have to go to that lower level that they're defending to capture other stuff. So I had no clue. I was really clueless on what to do and what was going on. I knew about the interaction thing because basically it's kind of self-explanatory once you get to see that level and all of that. But I was just a bit clueless. So I was just trying to slay people because I really didn't know like how to go in. Once I saw this person doing that and this and all of that, I knew I had to go and cap this, so that's what I was trying to do. And unfortunately I get killed because I was being shot from the side, from the front, from everywhere, and I got taken out. So yeah, you know, it was a little bit funny, but I felt a little bit stupid at the same time because they really have that one locked down. So I was thinking, should I either like roll and get behind them and kill them, or should I try to get another one? And some of my teammates had the same idea. They went and they captured other stuff that preoccupied them, and then that left it open for us. So now there's only one spot that we actually need to go and capture things from, and this is where it's gonna get a little bit hectic. So if you guys are new, always keep the sensitivities low, and if it's a little too low, bump it up just a tidbit up and continue to play with it till you get comfortable and used to it. People that play with the crazy sensitivity, they can't control what they're doing. They're mostly depending on luck. So here I noticed the window, this guy jumped from it. That's more than likely the way that I noticed it, and I'm just waiting for some of my teammates, but these guys were strategically set up, and there's nothing that we can do. They're just gonna camp these corners where the last objective is, and there was nothing that we can do at first to get them till I decided to use my head and outplay them. And when a game is this old, usually these people or all of that, they know what they're doing and they have all of this covered, but apparently not here. So right here I just poked in. I'm watching what they're doing. I saw how many of them are camping it, how many of them are hiding, and how hard it's gonna be for me just to rush in and try to slay anything. So I'm already using my head, and I already had this next strat on. So what I'm gonna do here, and it's happening anyway, so it's not like I'm giving anything away. I'm gonna poke out through this window, take out a few of these characters. And right here, this is a strat, because if I just leave him here and he has to respawn and come all the way back, here he can just rush into the action like he was doing. So right here, I'm just gonna take out a few of them through this window, and they're not even turning around to defend themselves. So once I take them out, once I kill them, I'm able to get in there and just notice how I'm keeping some of my stuff here. How I didn't waste everything. This guy has that little cloud on, and I think one of my teammates killed him, so I'm gonna keep this here. Our corn feller here is helping us out. He's gonna get almost popped, but not, because I almost killed him previously and he was really low health. Or maybe he did get popped. I can't really tell. I think he did. And I'm just using my shield and all of this as an advantage. This gave my teammates a window for them to be able to attack them, give me that clear thing, and I got the victory. So it's always about outsmarting your opponent, you know, really be strategic, be smart, and get those victories. I was able to get it. I was really happy. Now this took a really long time. And I don't know how many of you guys would like to watch videos that are this long. I'll try to maybe cut them down into something shorter and stuff like that, or maybe leave them like that. I don't know what you guys want to see, but I'll be more than happy to continue to post more of this game in the future and all of that. And this is basically it. And if you guys like, leave a comment, tell me if you guys want to watch more and all of that, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you, bye.